Well, hello there, everybody. Game time, Brian, and those sounds are brought to you. None other than Ron Oliver. Yes, Ron Oliver and I are collabing on an album. Yes, a football album. You're going to see more of that. Stay tuned for the live stream as we start. I'll have his information on my live stream. Ron Oliver. Mark Holmes has done some work with Ron. He's reached out to me. We got some cool stuff coming your way. So stay tuned for that. Um, it's football Sunday, baby. It is football Sunday. And we got two great games to cover later this afternoon. But for now, we want to talk about none other than, yes, what's his full name? His full name is Brian Cornelius Schottenheimer. Yes, Brian Cornelius. Little Yukon Cornelius, a little Don Cornelius. We got ourselves some Brian Cornelius Schottenheimer. Born October 16th, 1973. He is 2 years younger than moi. Yes, yes. He's 51 years old. Paid his dues, people. Paid his dues. Yes, he has. Is it the hire that everybody wanted? Yeah, but it's better than it could have. No. The answer to that is no. It's not Deion Sanders, people. But outside of Deion Sanders, they weren't getting Ben Davis. That's just how Dallas works. Sorry, that's just how they work. Ben Davis was never in the plan. Um, it's been a football lifer. Yes, he has. He's been a football lifer. It starts out, believe it or not, in 1996 with the Florida Gators. He was the offensive coordinator for none other than Steve Spurrier with the Florida Gators, helped them win a national title. Um, pretty, pretty exciting for um, Mr. Brian Cornelius Schottenheimer. 1997, he made it to the NFL with the Rams. He was an assistant, an offensive assistant. 1998, moved on to the Kansas City Chiefs as an offensive assistant. I'm not sure if Marty was gone by then. I could look that up real quick. Let's just see. Marty Schottenheimer. Shout out to the late great. He passed away February 8th, of 2021. Um, let me let me pull up his wiki. Marty was the man. Shout out to Marty. Shout out to Marty Schottenheimer.
Gleam, men. There's a gleam. Let's get the gleam, all right? Let's go.
Let's get the gleam, baby. Let's get the gleam. I'm looking now. Yes, he coached from 89 to 98. Yes. So that's telling me that Shotty was under his dad for that year. 1999, he went back to the college ranks to the Syracuse Orangemen as wide receivers coach. Yes. 2000, he was at USC as the tight ends coach. 2001, moved to the Washington Redskins. Yes, the then Redskins. For quarterbacks coach. San Diego Chargers, 2002 to 2005 for quarterbacks coach. New York Jets offensive coordinator, 2006 through 2011. Rams offensive coordinator from 2012 to 2014. He went to Georgia in 2015 and was the offensive coordinator and quarterbacks coach at the University of Georgia. Indianapolis Colts, 2016 and 17. Quarterbacks coach under Seattle, 2018 to 2020, where he was a part of a Super Bowl. Offensive coordinator for the Jags, 2021. Passing game coordinator in 2022. He basically helped Dallas, Mike McCarthy, game plan, helped with the defenses that they're going to see, kind of played like the opposition in meetings. So he's been in Dallas since 2022. Analyst. Um, 2023 and 2024, he was the offensive coordinator under Mike McCarthy. Did not call plays. 2025, we are with the Cowboys as the head coach. By no means is this anywhere near the resume of one Kellen Moore. He far exceeds Kellen Moore's resume by a long shot. Other than Kellen was in Dallas and setting records as an offensive coordinator, uh, only to have little to no success in the playoffs. Um, Kellen Moore, not here to bash Kellen. He's doing a fine job running the ball with the Eagles. That, again, there's not, an offensive coordinator is in charge of that. It is their job to run the ball. Well, it's not so much scheme. It's not hard if you're an Eagle fan to know that you got a quarterback who runs the ball as good as anyone out there when healthy. Hand off to Saquon Barkley, unbelievable free agent signing. Offensive line is through the roof, arguably the best in the league. Great defensive line, arguably one of the best in the league. So you see the trends here. Run the ball. Keep your turnovers at a low. Win games. Shout out to the Eagles. They are in the NFC Championship game, but this video is about Brian Cornelius Schottenheimer. Yeah, Schottenheimer. We all weren't thrilled. We all weren't thrilled about the signing of SHOTTY. But when you look in it, he's paid his dues, people. He's going to have his opportunity. He's going to have his opportunity to show everybody what they think. Maximize Dak Prescott. Now we're hearing Dak Prescott had a choice between, I think this is the Dallas Cowboys. Now, some people will say, no, this is the fact. We don't really know, right? We're hearing what we're told or leaked out. We heard Kellen had no interest. I heard that from multiple sources. Now we're hearing from the team that Dak chose Brian Schottenheimer over Kellen. I think it's probably a combination of both of those things, to be honest with you. I really do. I would think that Kellen was not sure he wanted the Dallas job. That's on record, which would explain the hour and 45-minute, not even from what I'm told, interview when he had up to 3 hours to interview. I guess they know Kellen, just a matter of, what do you see now since you've been gone, for the 2 years? Who's your offensive coordinator going to, who are your coordinators going to be? Who do you want to keep? Are you calling the plays? That's basically it. They pretty much know Kellen's philosophy. But Dallas is selling you that Dak made the choice. SHOTTY over Kellen. It is what it is. I like the fact that me and most Cowboy fans aren't thrilled necessarily with Schottenheimer because we feel as though we're entitled to a Bill Belichick and Mike Vrabel, Ben Johnson, Aaron Glenn, on and on. Pete Carroll. We want skins on the wall. We're afraid of the first-time head coach. But I'm here to just calm everybody down. He's a football lifer. Again, his father, Marty Schottenheimer.
Gleam, man. There's a gleam.
Hall of Famer.
Let's get the gleam, all right? Let's go.
Let's give him, actually, Marty passed away. How old was he? Trying to see how old he was when he passed. He was born in 1943, so you figure 57. So he died at 77. I do know that he had Alzheimer's. Yeah, so God bless him, man. Marty, love Marty. Marty should be in the Hall of Fame. No doubt. No doubt. He was an unbelievable motivator of men. That's why I believe Brian Schottenheimer We'll be just fine. It's not going to be about Brian Schottenheimer winning or not winning. It's going to be about what the Cowboys do. Now, we have a local football team, the Philadelphia Eagles here, and the head coach gets a lot of crap. But when you look at his story, now he doesn't have the skins on the wall as Brian Schottenheimer coming into the NFL because he's, Shotty's been everywhere and done just about everything. Defensive side of the ball, offense, game plans for the defense, helping the offense. Everywhere. He comes from a lineage of coaching greats. But if you look at, and this is an interesting, this is a video from 4 years ago. Just watch a little bit. I'm going to stop it. I'm going to stop and we'll react to it as we hear. But Schottenheimer reminds me of Sirianni in a lot of ways. So for everybody laughing at Schottenheimer, are you calling the kettle black? Something like that. Or people in glass houses shouldn't throw stones? Let's take a listen.
Sirianni started his coaching career at his alma mater, Mount Union, before making the jump as an assistant to the Chiefs in 2009. During his time in KC, he worked under head coaches Todd Haley and Romeo Crennel, then joined the Chargers, worked alongside head coach Mike McCoy and offensive coordinator Frank Reich. Teaming up with Reich again with the Colts since 2018, he engineered an offense that ranked 8th in points per game over that span. Let's get back to Adam. The Eagles have found their head man. What more can you tell us?
Laura, the Eagles have been in Florida here conducting interviews for the better part of the last week since they fired Doug Peterson, brought in any number of candidates and went through them. And I think because they started a little bit late firing Doug Peterson a week after some of the other coaches got fired, they were a little bit late to the process.
Does that sound familiar? A little late to the process, everybody? Does that sound familiar? That's all the Cowboys do, are late to the process. I'm showing you this video just to give the correlation, okay? And the Eagles have done nothing but win. And I would say Dallas is way further along than the Eagles were at the time that Sirianni took over as far as talent. They got talent. They got major talent. They have question marks, too. They have a lot of holes, but so did the Birds.
And again, that meant that other coaches landed other jobs elsewhere before the Eagles could have all the options that they wanted. Still had plenty of options of plenty of good candidates out there. And ultimately, in the end, I think that they felt most comfortable with Nick Sirianni, who's worked under Frank Reich in Indianapolis and knows the Philadelphia system well.
What's the right hire? I thought Doug Peterson should have stayed on, and Dan was screaming like it's about Carson Wentz. And I understand it from a money standpoint. Like they are invested in Carson Wentz. So this is another part of that investment outside of the $100 million contract, outside of the fact that he had a rough season. This is yet another investment in the fact that they think Carson Wentz is going to be the guy for the future. This is all on Carson Wentz now.
Yeah.
Now, we know how that played out, right? We know how that played out. Carson Wentz came in, lost his job to Jalen Hurts. Yeah, the same Jalen Hurts that Philly 500 said, oh, my God, what are they doing? Just goes to show what revisionist history. Philly 500, love you, bro, but you shit on that pick for as long, you were astounded that you picked Jalen Hurts. I think it's worked out pretty well. Jalen's, after today, might go to a second his Super Bowl. So, love Jalen or hate Jalen, he's a winner. But this shows you what can happen. And me and a couple other people, and the Ultra brought it up, and Randy McIntyre, we want to draft a young quarterback. We understand we got Dak Prescott. You can get out of the contract if you need to after this upcoming year. You could. Yeah, it is what it is. There's dead money. Oh, well. Stop being cheap, Jerry. Hopefully Dak works out. And that's for another video. But just watch the rest of this. Listen to the rest of this. And just think of the correlations between the Eagles and the Cowboys.
Like this, the amount of pressure that he's going to have, as we talked about the pressure you have in Philly, just got revved up another notch.
I think it's pressure on all of them. I think it's pressure on Nick, Carson Wentz, the front office, all of them. What's interesting about this is they went and got the other guy.
they didn't get the guy. They didn't get Frank Wright. They got somebody else. So you expected for him to coach him the same way. It's totally different when you in that plane flying in that cockpit versus sitting back and delegating certain things. Now you become the head coach, I'm assuming the play caller, and the quarterback coach, even though you may not have the time.
He stopped playing calling plays after the first year. I mean, I believe that that's for another show. But yeah, we all forget that Nick Sirianni can indeed call plays, and he gets a bad rap from me and a lot of people. I mean, they call him Dracula for a reason. So,
Idle as a quarterback coach, you are intimately involved with him on a day-to-day basis. Will it work out? I don't know. How are you going to handle the locker room when they turn around and they look and say, well, Jalen Hurts should be really playing, man? How you going to handle that?
It's a really interesting point, Dan, because I think it's obvious. We've talked about the reasons why we're talking about Carson Wentz is because of the money that's owed to him, right?
Yes.
And that's what's top of mind for this organization and the leadership in the organization. But what if Jalen Hurts ends up really being the guy and Sirianni's in that scenario? Feels like, at least in his experience, he'd be prepared to go with whoever's best to run the offense?
Yeah, no, listen, this is not about Jalen Hurts, right? This hire was
absolutely about Carson Wentz.
100%. If Jalen Hurts goes into this offseason and into the summer and proves he's a better player than Carson Wentz, then the Eagles have a big problem. Yes, there's no question about that, because Nick Sirianni signed on to the Eagles' job in part because of Carson Wentz.
Yes.
He doesn't take the job because, you know what, I loved Jalen Hurts coming out of Oklahoma. Could Jalen Hurts become something?
It was Carson
we have no
Wentz.
idea. But the number one goal for him going to Philadelphia, make no mistake about it,
is to get Carson Wentz right.
Get him balling.
Yes.
And so it has everything to do with the non-physical. He's got to go make good relationship. He's also got to bring someone with him that can coach the heck out of the guy.
Yes.
This is not about being buddies.
But what if it doesn't work and all of a sudden in that locker room they going, well.
Then everybody's gone, though.
And that's going to happen fast, too. All right, guys, we are going to get back to this because
it did work. That's the difference. But you see, the same type of situation that's happened with the Eagles is happening with Dallas. Now, Dallas hasn't identified that next quarterback, which is what they need to do. They need to draft quarterbacks. But make no mistake, they waited to hire a head coach and settled on Nick Sirianni. Okay? We can love him. We can hate him. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Results stand for themselves. We need somebody. This year was an anomaly, okay? It was an anomaly. The amount of injuries that the Cowboys had totally put them out of it. And you need these years on every once in a while. We wouldn't have been nowhere near the number 12th pick. And this year, with all the bad teams, okay, you make a few spots. Dallas probably would have won 3-4 more games if they didn't have the injuries. They would have been on the cusp of the playoff, and that would have been the worst thing because they're not a Super Bowl team. I repeat, they're not a Super Bowl team. But Brian Schottenheimer may be exactly what we need. A guy who's familiar, who's brought in to get Dak over the top, right? He has not called plays with Dallas under McCarthy. We're hearing rumors to him and McCarthy. He would tell Mike, we need to do this. We need to do that. What Shotty does, he looks at trends. And, you have to keep up with the Joneses, so to speak. No pun intended. You got to look and see what Miami's doing on offense. You got to look and see what the Eagles are doing in their run game. You have to see what the Chiefs are doing. See why the Bills are better this year with less talent than they were last year. That's your job, to adapt to an ever-changing league who will not wait for you to catch up. Time, I can't believe it's been 4 years. Let me just tell you, people, time goes by. I tell this to my Eagle subscribers all the time. Win it this year. Do not look ahead to, next year we're going to... Bullshit. Excuse my language. Bull crap. It's not going to happen. The gods aren't going to allow a dynasty unless you have a Patrick Mahomes. Now, I'm not saying it can't happen for you. I'm saying, we're not done. I'm not saying you're done. I'm saying you're at a point now where you're relatively healthy, as anybody is this time of year. You're probably better than most. Deron Payne is out today, I'm hearing, and for the Commanders. That ain't good. Good luck stopping Saquon. Blowout. But anyway, just wanted to show you guys. And I want to back people up off the ledge. Get off the ledge with Brian Schottenheimer. He has a lot of skins on the wall. He's done a lot. We need to show some support behind Brian Schottenheimer. We can only hope that Dak Prescott leans on the Joneses. It's all going to be about free agency. It cannot be just about the draft. And it has to be free agency early. And it doesn't even have to be a lot of outside players. You have to bring back Jordan Lewis. You have to bring back Osa Odigizua. You have to possibly bring back Golston. Outside of that, you could all go. Like I said last year, that's not what held us back. Were we as deep? No. That's where you get into the Wade, the Walker Wade, and the Mike Fisher saying it was a blow it up year. They were going in razor thin. And then when you lose D-Law, you lose Dak, you lose Micah, you lose Diggs, you lose Bland, you lose Zach Martin, you lose Cooper Beebe for a month. You lose half the team. Jake Ferguson played with a high ankle sprain that he was never good after. You lost John Stevens. You lost Brandon Cooks. I mean, it goes on and on. I'm sure I'm forgetting people. Take advantage. But anyway, that's it for me. That's the video. We need to give Brian Cornelius Schottenheimer a chance. I love the hire of Matt Eberflus. The special teams, we'll see. They're working on the staff. We're all waiting to see if Witten and DeMarcus Ware come on board. I would like to see them move on from Mike Solari, but let's let Brian Schottenheimer make that call. Solari had the offensive line playing well by the end of the year. You might bring back somebody who you'd be surprised at. I'm not going to say it because it has not been confirmed as of this video. So there it is. Don't forget, we will be streaming the championship games. The local team, the fans are excited. My brother-in-law, Chris, he's excited. Good luck to you. I'm not saying I'm rooting for the Birds. Out of respect for the local team, my sign will stay green until they lose. That was part of my loser bet to my brother-in-law. I got to have my Green Eagle sign. There you go. Until they take the L. Maybe it'll come this afternoon. I doubt it. We'll see. But all right, everybody, that's it for me. And I'm not even going to say it. I'm going to end with my man, Shotty. Shout out to Marty Schottenheimer.
Gleam, men. There's a gleam. Let's get the gleam, all right? Let's go.